Lime in the coconut.
Okay, can you hear me now? Perfect. Oh, here, I'll speak into the microphone as well. Okay, because I have my mic off because it's not, obviously it's not working. You hear me okay, Mr. Smith? Okay. Okay, everybody's here. Oh, turn that on.
And we just went live on YouTube.
Yay. Okay, we are recording up here as well. All right, the time is 7:11. It is Monday, October 18, 2021. If I could please get everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Anderson, will you please take the roll?
Councilmember Fredericks?
Here.
Councilmember Chapman?
Here.
Councilmember Rounds?
Thanks, sir.
Councilmember Holland?
Present.
Councilmember Smith? Councilmember Graham?
Here.
Councilmember Plaza?
All right, Councilmember Smith is actually online. Did you call Monty?
I did.
Yeah, okay. Is online with us this evening. Council members Plaza and Rounds have both called out this evening ahead of time.
Move to excuse both Councilmember Rounds and Councilmember Plaza.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Frederick, second by Councilmember Chapman. Mrs. Anderson?
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Smith? Can you hear me?
He said aye.
Okay.
I saw him, but I don't have anything coming out from him.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Both Councilmember Plaza and Rounds have been excused. I have no one signed up for council communication for items not on the agenda. Is there anyone online for items not on the agenda? Seeing none, moving on to items on the agenda. I have no one signed up in the gallery. Anyone online for items on the agenda?
Is there somebody in your chat box?
Oh, it's Joe.
Okay.
I've been chatting with him here. Seeing no one, we've come to the portion of the agenda this evening.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second?
Moved by Councilmember Chapman, second by Councilmember Fredericks. Mrs. Anderson?
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Smith? Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
For the record, Councilmember Smith has said aye. Moving on, the agenda's been approved. Moving on to reports of City Council. Mrs. Graham.
I would just like to speak on behalf of the Rotary Club tonight, that they have done a lot of work, and I know there are 65,000 copies that went out of this paper to the communities around, and I think they've done a beautiful job. There's information about the park. The picture on the front is what's completed now, and people that I've talked to, they've found it very interesting and whatnot, and one of the biggest things that I've had comment about was the list of all the donors that we've had through the past 10 years for this. It's very impressive, and we do thank the communities around and the donations that have been given through all these years, and looking forward to having this beautiful establishment on our hill. So, everybody read it, enjoy, and help us support the endeavors that the Rotary Club is doing for that.
Thank you, Mrs. Graham. Anyone else for reports of City Council? No? Okay. Moving on to Finance Committee.
Yes, we did not meet this evening due to the lack of full participation from the committee. We did not have enough people, so it was canceled. Our next meeting is scheduled for November 15th.
All right. Human Resources?
I'm the only one here from Human Resources. Yes, my other counterparts couldn't make it, Rounds and Plaza, so we're going to reschedule for the 11:15, and it should be 5:30 here. So, unless something changes, but that's what we're counting on.
All right, thank you. Mr. Boyce, you have something?
No.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Graham, Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, sir. Of course, Halloween is coming up, and there will be downtown trick-or-treating on Friday, the 29th. And if you need, I know there will be a map out of participating businesses and so on and so forth. I'm sure those can be reached at the Woodland Chamber site or at the Visitor Center at the parking lot. We have decided today that we are able to have our Christmas after hours, yay, on December the 2nd up at the golf course. More information, we're looking at different things to do as far as like 2 years ago when we had our surprise boxes and our Christmas tree with the ornaments on them that you could purchase and receive another bag. Santa Claus, food of some sort somehow, so we're very, very, very excited about that. We are working with the new people of the golf course, so.
All right.
And then we're open 7 days a week. The visitor center is 9 to 4, and we still have our weekly Tuesday luncheons at Casa Tapatia starting at 12 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Graham. And I still owe Mrs. Miller a pamphlet, so I will get, let me make myself a note here.
Okay.
I owe her a chart. Forgot to send that over to her. All right. Moving on to reports of officers. I attended a meeting with the other Clark County mayors last Sunday night. It was our turn to host here at the city, so we patronized a local restaurant and got caught up with all things Clark County and what's going on with the different cities. We are getting ready to come up on legislative session in January, so the city is preparing a list of items for support, and we will be getting some, I don't want to call it propaganda, I just want to call it propaganda, a list of things to take to the legislature, which we will bring to city council to sign off on. So I'm working on that. Halloween is next Friday. I'll be outside City Hall passing out candy, and that's all that I have right now. Mr. Boyce.
Okay, so I wanted to report on the budget. So I believe we've got the software issue solved. I still need to go through and make sure everything is balanced. I think I can have it to you by Monday. And I guess the question is, would you like to hold a workshop on Monday, having not seen it before you get to that meeting? But I will need the weekend to be able to get everything balanced and ready to print.
Discussion? Mrs. Holland?
I'm good with that. I think we're, 2 weeks behind now? So
Yeah.
you probably want to wrap this up. There you go.
So are you saying you would like to have the workshop?
I'm sure, so
Okay.
that we can all sit down and
Or at least start the presentations?
try and
Okay.
remember how to log into that system.
Okay.
I would like to skip straight to the presentations, so
Okay.
I'm okay with
Will
missing
do.
it. But if everyone else needs to, we'll just either show up or not show up.
Okay.
So are you thinking we'll start with presentations on Monday then?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. If you want to see the presentations.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right, then that's where we're going to go.
all right.
And I'll pick the order on how this goes. Just kidding.
It's going to be your last budget
It's your,
meeting.
it's your last budget, Mr.
It's your
Fredericks.
last hoorah.
We really need you engaged.
Well, the first meeting is that they read it to me, and I'm good at reading. But the presentations I find are extremely helpful in understanding where that department head is coming from and understanding what each one wants to do with their department.
Mr. Boyce?
Mr. Mayor, I got a text from Councilmember Smith. He's having a very difficult time hearing, and he's wondering if it's too late to excuse him from the meeting.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. We have a quorum still.
Okay, so,
Mr. Smith, you're excused since we're having some difficulties.
Do we make a motion and go for that?
We can't hear you, so you look great. Have a good night, Mr. Smith.
I'm sure it's 4-0 anyway.
Yeah, we don't have to be excused anymore, right?
It's a 4-0 anyway, so, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Boyce?
just to mention that the Planning Commission meeting for this Thursday is canceled.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Boyce or myself? Ms. Coleman had an issue out on Cherry Blossom here this last week, which has been fixed. It looks like the guys got on that pretty quickly, so thank you for that. We had maybe you can, was it a pipe that burst? Or
No, it was a lateral that came from our ponds that fed out to the river.
okay, it had an issue. We were flooding Cherry Blossom, I believe, or it was flooding. I'm sorry, we had some water bubbling.
Yeah.
I'm glad we clarified that it wasn't Miss Coleman who had an issue on Cherry Blossom.
Thank you, Mr. Fredericks. Sorry, our infrastructure had an issue on Cherry Blossoms, which Miss Coleman then fixed.
Yes.
They hired me because of my face, not because of the way I speak.
I hope we got a discount on that.
No, yeah, right. All right, moving on to consent items.
Move adoption of consent items A, B, and D. I'm not sure where C went, but let's go with it.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Fredericks, second by Councilmember Chapman. Mrs. Anderson.
Councilmember Chapman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Graham.
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks.
Aye.
Consent items have passed, and for the record, Councilmember Smith stepped away at 7:20. Moving on to action items. Action item E, Council Order 2021-4 to postpone date to establish stormwater services to March 1st, 2022.
Move to approve Council Order 2021-4 to postpone the date to establish the stormwater services to March 1, 2022.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Fredericks, second by Councilmember Graham. Councilmember Fredericks.
I think this is entirely appropriate. I think staff's got a little bit more work here that needs to happen prior to this date.
Councilmember Graham.
No comment.
Further discussion? Seeing none, Mrs. Anderson, will you take the roll on action item E, Council Order 2021-4?
Councilmember Graham.
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks.
Aye.
All right, action item E has passed. Moving on to action item F, Council Order 2021-5 to extend bi-monthly billing for utilities to March 1st, 2022.
Move to adopt Council Order 2021-5 to extend the bi-monthly billing for utilities to March 1, 2022.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Fredericks, second by Councilmember Chapman. Councilmember Fredericks.
Same comments as the previous action item.
Councilmember Chapman.
I concur.
Further discussion? Seeing none, Mrs. Anderson, will you please take the roll on action item F, Council Order 2021-5?
Councilmember Graham.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman.
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks.
Aye.
Action item F has passed. The time is now 7:24. Chair will accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Moved by Councilmember Chapman, second by Councilmember Fredericks. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The time is 7:24.